Hey guys, sorry for the delay. I got a late start on today. Let me know if y'all get my message, or y'all can let me know if y'all can hear me.
Hey man, we can hear you.
Cool. How's everybody's Thursday going?
Pretty good. How about you?
Doing pretty good.
If you did you well, I assume you were obviously watching the news, right? Um, were you expecting lower unemployment claims?
Um, Partially. I thought that we didn't have yesterday the ADP non-farm employment change, recognize how many people changed jobs. That number came in lower. So that could be a sign of two things. One, we either have lots of people unemployed, or two, we could have not that much employment because the period that it covered was a period during the holidays. So I thought it would probably come in lower, but I wouldn't be surprised if unemployment claims didn't come in lower because we've had a red hot economy. So it was going to be either one of the two, right? But now, based upon what we saw today with the unemployment claims, I expect NFP to exceed tomorrow's expectations. And I expect the unemployment rate to probably either be in line, or it's going to be in line, or come in lower. So we're not going to. The unemployment rate has not been jumping too high at all. So we'll see. What other questions y'all guys got? Y'all there? Y'all can come off mute, guys.
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah. What kind of questions y'all guys got? Or if y'all don't feel like talking too, y'all can feel free to put them in the chat as well. Oh, 1 second. Sorry, guys. I just see some chat. No questions at the moment. Calvin, you happen to have any questions? Anything you want to talk about?
Not right now. Can you just give me 1 second?
Okay. Did y'all take any trades today, guys? Anything y'all want to share that y'all did? The news today was quite interesting. I was very surprised that what's it called? Increased their surprised at how much the Bank of England and Europe increased their interest rates, and they decided that they weren't done with their interest rates, which was very interesting because it seemed like they were pretty much at the fourth cycle of being done. So oh, well, Pleasure to have you in the meeting, my friend. We have these meetings every Tuesday and Thursday. And pretty much if you have any charts that you want to share, if you have any questions about concepts, you have trades you want us to review, that's what we reserve these calls for. It's pretty much your own time to be able to do whatever that you really want to do, discuss, so that we can be able to answer any questions that you have. So glad to have you here on your first one. Sorry, there's not much to say. We're still at the beginning of the year where things are beginning to size up what's really going to happen and what's not. So it's been very interesting.
Hey, Brian.
Yeah.
Could you do me a favor and pull up your NOS chart?
Show me yours. I enable screen sharing. So are you on a computer?
Yeah, I'm on my laptop. You should be able to see it.
Yeah, I can see it.
This is what I was kind of eyeing this morning.
Mhm.
But this year happened before my trading window, so I kind of get up. I get up around like 7:30, but I didn't come to the charts until a little bit later this time, and also I'm not trying to take any trades right now, like you said. So, but this is what I was looking at. Obviously, once this high went on the daily, that's when I just, because that's following the bullish order flow, isn't it? Okay, so this would have been valid for my plan, right?
So talk me through why. Talk to me through your parts of your plan and leading up to that. So the question that you always should have for yourself is follow your plan, right? So let's start with the first step in your plan and ask yourself, all right, what's the first question that you ask yourself in your plan?
Okay, well, it's whether we're like correctively or whether we're on a corrective pullback or an impulse on the daily.
Okay. All right. So what's the answer to that first question for part of your plan?
The answer is that we're impulsive.
Okay. What is the next step for you? Does your plan say? This is important because you need to know where you segue into next. Because if you have a checklist, you don't really have a guidance on to what you do, right? But in order for you to really find the most success in trading, you have to follow a process. So the best way to structure your plan is in the form of a step-by-step manner, which could be a flow chart or it could be a step-by-step list, right? So what is the next thing in your plan say for you to do once you've determined if you're in an impulsive or corrective phase?
It says, is 1 hour order flow moving bearish and in line, or that would be corrective. Is 1 hour order flow moving bullish and in line with the higher time frame impulsive move? Okay.
I got one question for you real quick. You didn't answer something that I thought was important, or didn't ask yourself something was important. So the very first thing in your question, your plan asks if you're impulsive or corrective, right?
Right.
But what is that based upon? How do you determine that? What's impulsive or what's corrective?
The daily trend.
And you didn't ask me, you didn't say that what the daily trend was. You just said it was impulsive. So,
okay, so I have at the top bullish daily trend.
Okay. So see how important that point was though?
Yeah, gotcha.
So what I mean by is you need to follow everything in your plan step by step. Don't cut any steps.
Okay.
So very first thing on your plan says what?
It says, well, it's whether you're in a bullish or bearish daily trend.
Okay. So what is your daily trend?
It's bullish right now.
Okay. And what is the next thing, the next step that you have to take on your plan?
It says, is the daily moving corrective or impulsively?
Okay. And we determined that was impulsive, right?
Right.
Okay, cool. All right. And then the next step was to look at the 1 hour order flow. So for that, you're going to have to, now we need to go down to the 1 hour. I would say in your plan, even though this is redundant, I would say right in there, go to the 1 hour. And the reason why is because your plan should be so descriptive that a 3-year-old or a 5-year-old could pick it up and follow it step by step like a map. If you had amnesia tomorrow, could you read your plan and know exactly everything that is meant? That's the level of detail that you want to put into your plan, because then when you go back and you're reviewing why you lost a trade, you're going to find exactly where you made a mistake. It jumps out to you, like hit you like a ton of bricks. Can't miss it. But got to be explicit. Don't ever assume that you just know what it means, because then that's the parts where we start doing things that we think we're doing and we're actually not doing them.
Right. And you're not following it like very strictly.
And if you're not following a plan, the plan's useless, because I could have a goal to make a lot of money in trading, or I could have a goal to be a basketball player, a professional basketball player. But if I don't have a plan on how to do that, all you have is a hope and a wish.
Right.
So, all right. So now let's go to 1 hour. All right. What is the first thing you're supposed to do when you get to the 1 hour, according to your plan?
I have the question asked, is 1 hour order flow moving bullish and in line with the higher time frame impulsive move?
Okay. So is it when you woke up? So we'll use the time you woke up. In fact, you could you do replay on the chart if you want to. We can go back to your exact time you woke up.
This is when I came to the charts. I woke up. Yeah, I woke up within this hour. And I came to the charts after, but I missed this move here.
Okay. So it is. All right. So right now the order flow is bullish, like you said, right? So
Right.
What would be the next thing that you would need to do?
Well, at this point, that kind of demand means nothing to me right now.
Why? Was that the exact time you woke up? Right there?
Yeah.
Oh, you said 7:30. Oh, okay. I apologize.
Like 7. Yeah, it was like 7:30.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Cool.
But I didn't get to the charts at until like 8:15. So
okay, let's speed up to 8:15 then.
okay.
You might have to, yeah. Okay. So yeah, that's close enough, right?
Okay. So it's at this point where I obviously drew the breaker structure and then pulled it away.
So what is your rule? What are you looking for? What are you looking for right now? And what does your rule say that you're supposed to, what does your plan say you're supposed to be looking for?
It says refer to 1 and 2 in POI rules. If price taps into your demand, drop down to the entry time frame. So this morning I just kind of sat on my hands.
Okay. Not a bad idea. I mean, the market truly was they took the news from the ECB and BOE very hard today.
Yeah.
So
but that's something that would line up. Like this first one here, like if I was awake during this time, I would totally execute without hesitation on this. If it gave lower entry time frame criteria.
Yeah, and I'm gonna tell you something honestly about the time you wake up. The NASDAQ market opens at 6:30 PST. You're in PST time, right?
I'm in the Eastern time frame.
Oh, Eastern time. Okay, so it opens up right at 8:30 and 9:30 for you.
Right.
So you might want to wake up a little bit earlier, just FYI.
Do you think? Yeah.
This So today, let me turn my annotation on real quick.
There's a lot
This
of days
move
where
right
I
here-
notice.
Oh, go
Go
ahead.
ahead.
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say that there's a lot of days where I notice that I miss moves that follow my like that. Well, I mean, this plan's obviously better, the revised one, but there's a lot of moves that just kind of take off, and I'm just kind of watching price take off all day for 3 hours, and none of my alerts get hit.
Yeah, it's your timing. It's the
Yeah,
timing of what you have. That's the problem.
Okay.
You're waking up in the middle of a lot of moves and you're going to miss it. So
Right.
the New York market opens at 8 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time. The stock markets for NASDAQ and such like that, they open at 9:30 Eastern. If you're waking up at 9:30, you're going to miss moves. And to be, a great investor, you got to be up beforehand. So before the time you want to trade, I'm always up 1 hour before, right?
Yeah.
So I get up for the London market in Frankfurt. I'm looking at the market 1 hour beforehand because I want to be prepared for the day. I want to get an idea of where the market trend is going. I want to get an idea of what the order flow is looking like. I want to get an idea of where we're going to trade. So that's something that you might have to work into your plan about timing, right? So let's talk about what happened today. Can you put your marker right here? This was, you're using.
I can switch my time down there.
Oh, okay. You got it on Eastern. That's fine. So this was FOMC yesterday, right?
Yep.
And we ended up getting a dovish tone. That's why the markets shoot up. Then do this one right here. That was, what was that? Oh, that's the London.
3 in the morning.
Right?
This would be 12 your time.
Yeah. Or 2 my time. I'm in Central. I'm on
you're in Central. Okay.
So this was the London Open. It gave us a boost, right? And then we're going to go down to this one right here. That's the one I was looking for. This, if I remember correctly, let me look at it. Yep. This was, that's the wrong day. That was the GBP monetary policy. Now, you're going to probably say, why am I talking about GBP when we're talking about, USD, right? Because the NASDAQ is a stock indice for the United States. There is some spillover over major currencies because what one reflects, the other one tends to follow. The United States started raising interest rates. Other countries started raising interest rates. When they perceive that the United States is doing bad, they think other countries are doing bad. Also, you have to understand the characteristics of the pairs you trade. NASDAQ is a stock index. The companies in there are from a couple of different sectors, mostly tech. They have a strong tech focus in the NASDAQ 100. Some of those companies do business in Great Britain and also Europe. They're multinational corporations. Therefore, they're going to be slightly affected, just not as much when something happens. That's why we have jumps. Does that make sense?
Yeah, but it does. It makes perfect sense.
So that's what, knowing that you had that news going up, I would have been up before 7 o'clock. Because that's the news that's going to possibly affect the market. Then an hour later, literally an hour and 15 minutes later at 8:15 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, you have, which is causing this one, I think, is that, no, that's the wrong one. I was one back, this one. So what caused this candle is the European version of interest rates. That's why it took off and you never had a chance.
Got it.
And
so,
what ended up happening was each one of them had, they also had a press conference. ECB had a press conference at 8:45 a.m. GBP had their conference 30 minutes after. So literally, if you go back to those candles, you don't have to, we can go back to Forex Factory, right? If you want to see it, but you pretty much don't ever just mark out any of those. Always let all the stuff stay. I see people who only look at the high impact. Big mistake. Big mistake. You missed little details. Luckily, these were all, put in as far as, within high impact. But a lot of times they don't do that. So you have a 30-minute window of news. Now, this is just the initial reactions every time, right? Because interest rates is one of the 6 main factors of fundamentals that influence the market. Don't believe it? I can show you charts. It doesn't affect sometimes always today, but like today it did. Other times it affects the overall picture. The second piece you have to watch for, and what I did last night, is you have to listen to the press conferences because they always tell you what the future will possibly hold. That is how people determine how they trade for the long term. Because both of them said that, hey, we're not done with our interest rate hikes. First of all, their hikes were on target of exactly what everybody expected, right? But the other part that was a little bit, concerning was that they said we're not done with the hikes. And I thought they would be done this time. A lot of the market had already priced it being done. So let's go back to the chart. Go ahead and speed up to the current time. You can just let it play out. You see this sharp reaction of it coming down right here? That's because they've digested the news and the fact that the interest rate hikes are still going to continue. So that's how fundamentals affected the market today. And your timing in the market, you have to be aware that these fundamental events, they influence how the market thinks. So.
Got it.
But does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes perfect sense.
Cool.
That's all I really got. Then if you could take a look at the revision I made for my plan whenever you can today.
Open it up. Let's take a look at it right now. We've got time.
I can't right now.
Oh.
I just got kicked out of my breakout room because it ends at 3:30.
Oh, darn. I'm sorry, brother.
I'm sorry.
Well, I'll take a look at it.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it.
No problem.
I'll talk to you. I'll talk to you.
Okay. Any questions y'all guys have before? I'm gonna go ahead. I'll just wrap it up a couple minutes early. Sorry about that. So, but if y'all don't have any questions, guys, I'm gonna let y'all go. Wishing y'all the best in trading tomorrow. There is going to be more impactful news that's going to happen. I'll talk about that in the fundamentals outlook. I don't know if you take a look at those, but I try to give you a play-by-play understanding of what's going to impact. We got NFP tomorrow. We have ISM's PMI services. So there'll be a couple things because cross country won't be as eventful as the last 2 days, but definitely things that cause the market to move. So without guys, I will talk to y'all a little bit later. Talk to you in the chat. Ask me any questions that you have. And I look forward to seeing y'all having some successful trades. Talk to you soon.